Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a spooky edition of Off the Wire. I'm your host, Wrigley Court, and let me tell you, I love Halloween. It combines my two favorite things, wearing elaborate outfits and binge drinking. I'm going all out this year because I didn't get to celebrate it all last year. As you may have heard by now, I had a vacuum up my ass last Halloween. And yes, I'm still milking that joke a year later. It's like the Michael Myers of jokes. It doesn't matter if you stab it repeatedly, shoot it a few times, and knock it off a balcony. Just gonna lay there for a bit. It's gonna get up, do the little head tilt, and be on its merry way. You can't kill the ass vac. But that gets me to my favorite part of the Halloween season, horror movies. I'm in a class right now that's all about vampires. Yes, I am taking a vampire class. It's awesome. Every week for class, we get to watch a vampire movie. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that there's really only like 4 good vampire movies. But there are like 15 weeks of this class. So it's been mostly duds. And my favorite of those duds is 2014's Dracula Untold. A story that should have stayed untold. Now, the thing about Dracula Untold is that it was supposed to be a really important movie. Let me set the scene for you. It's the year 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 has mysteriously disappeared over the Pacific Ocean. You know, we never figured that out. A plane just like vanished over a decade ago, and we still don't know why. Anyway, more important to the story. Disney's just printing money with the Marvel movies. So the people over at Universal got together in a big conference room, I assume. I wasn't there. I was 10 years old. But presumably the execs over at Universal said, look, we need our Marvel. What dynamite IP do we have the rights to? And all they had was the monsters. Like Frankenstein and Dracula and the gang. And instead of making cool horror movies with them, they decided to make Marvel, but with the monsters. And they would call it The Dark Universe. And Dracula Untold was supposed to kick off the whole Dark Universe. But there was one problem. It was awful. Just a total snooze fest. Not enough vampire stuff, too much exposition, the list goes on. It got a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. To put that into perspective, the Minecraft movie, aka, like, Slop for Pigs in the Trough, the movie, got a 47. So this was like half as good as the Minecraft movie. It was so bad that they canceled the entire Dark Universe. Sorta. They tried to start it back up again a few years later with a whole bunch of new actors, including the totally not controversial Johnny Depp. But the problem was, they kicked this new version off with the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, which was even worse than Dracula Untold. 15%! That's so low! That's only 3 times War of the Worlds. The Ice Cube one, filmed entirely on Zoom. It was you! If your movie's only 3 times as good as the Ice Cube War of the Worlds movie, odds are it's not a good movie. But my favorite part of the Dark Universe is its Twitter account, which is still up to this day. On May 22nd, 2017, they welcomed us to a hashtag Dark Universe. 18 days later, the Tom Cruise Mummy came out. We have not heard from the Dark Universe since.